You're watching the Be Kind, Make Music YouTube channel. This video is day 13 of a random strange exercise for January 2025. Okay, so today we're going to do just something pretty simple. It's called FM Trills. And it looks complicated because there's a lot going on the screen, but it is really quite simple. Basically, we're taking a square wave, but it's only the positive square, so it's more like a trigger rather than a square wave that goes up and down. So it's only the up, and then it is going to be controlling the frequency modulation of an oscillator to make it trill notes in the Western scale, so semitone, and then broadening it to a tone, and then increasing until it's an octave trill, and then back down again. So to do that, what I've done is, because this trigger here is a 10 volt trigger, you can see it goes up and down by 10. So up and down by 10, that's many octaves. I don't want that many octaves. I just want a single octave. So I want it to jump from 0 to 1. So I'm going to attenuate this. So I sent it into this attenuator. So now the output is just jumping between 1 and 0. And so that would give me an octave trill. But I want to divide it into the 12 notes, right? So I'm taking that output and putting it in here. And then I'm going to give only 8.333%, so that each of these ones, and it will just go down from there, adding 8.3, because these are all normaled to go down. So this is sending 1 volt here, and then 8.3%. So each of these is going to output a 0.083 volt, and that goes into a mute. And then each of these is going to a mixer, which is then going to get summed here, and it goes to the volt per octave for this oscillator. So this oscillator is set to A440, and then every time I unmute one of these, it's going to add a semitone to the trill. So let's give that a listen. Okay, I'm going to bring it up. All right, so let's give that a listen. So we're going to unmute this one. There we go. So just to see what's happening here, I'll put that in here so we can see this pulse. So that's a 1 volt pulse. Let's give this an octave. And then as I mute these things, it's going to go down. And there you go. Okay. So that's a very fancy way of making a trill. There's a much easier way, which I'm going to show now, which is just to use a quantizer. So this is a quantizer, and so what I've done here is I'm taking basically the same idea. We're going to put this sine wave here. And what we're going to see is that the same pulse, this 10 volt pulse, is going here, and I'm reducing it to 1 volt, and then I'm sending it here so that I can control it from 0 to 1 volt into the quantizer. And the quantizer will split it into these notes automatically. So let's hear that. This 40. So A for 40. And let's dial this, and you should see. That's the first semitone. And I keep increasing it. I'm gonna move this over here so you can see it better. And there you go. Okay, so it's not as smooth as you go between as the other way. Because you're kind of reaching the threshold of the quantizer and where it thinks that it should shift to the next note. Whereas the other way, I'm precisely adding the correct voltage each time. So yeah, that's this patch, or this exercise is to figure out that. And it's not really jam material, I'm sorry. So I'm going to leave it at that, but that's a cool little demonstration just of like what goes into quantizing notes and what goes into, doing trills. I guess if you did it really fast and you automated it, it could be kind of interesting. So yeah, anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.